Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Ashley gives Jack unexpected news and Phyllis vows to get her hands on Chancellor Thursday, May 29th, 2025. Today on The Young and the Restless. Harrison joins the party planning for Nikki, Jack backs his sister, and Daniel opts out of Phyllis's plan. At the park, Harrison wants Claire's advice about what to get Nikki for her birthday. So far, his ideas are a microscope and cotton candy machine, which would stay at his house. Claire teases that if Kyle's paying, they should go big and get something as fancy as Gigi is. Harrison nods. That sounds great. They joke about buying Nikki expensive jewelry or a horse. Harrison would name in Narrison after him and Nikki, or Nayrison. Claire turns more serious to suggest something smaller and more personal. Harrison asks her what she bought when she was a kid, but remembers she grew up with a witch. Claire and Harrison agree the thought of Jordan doesn't scare them as much anymore. Getting back to the gift, Harrison puts his fingers in his ears to have thinkin' time. Eventually, Harrison shouts, "I've got it!" He'll make something for Nikki. Claire and Kyle approve. The kid urges Kyle to get him the horse, and then he'll reveal his plan. Finally, it comes out that he wants to do a family book for his Gigi. He moves away from them to do more thinking. Kyle thanks Claire for skipping work for this. They talk about being the boys' safety net. The conversation turns to the party and getting Victor on board. Then they can live together in peace. They share a laugh about Pietro's ideas, and Claire is sure Kyle will make Victor change his mind. Kyle's unconvinced but loves her optimism. Harrison watches as they kiss. Kyle muses about having to find the magic switch that changes Victor's mind about him. Claire weighs Cole adores her mother so much, he couldn't be mad anymore. Kyle gets it, but doesn't know the method. Ashley's news Ashley creeps into the Abbott house and calls out, "Hello?" Jack appears and is surprised she's early. She couldn't wait to get home. He asks what she thinks. Ash says it's worse than she thought it would be. What the hell was Diane thinking? Jack begins to panic and then she smiles. What's not to love? Diane did a fabulous job. Diane on the stairs hears this. Diane joins them and Ashley tells her she did a wonderful job. Diane tells her how much her approval means. Ash says John would have loved it too. He had very good taste. She thanks her for giving their home the respect it deserves. Jack admits he's relieved for both of their sakes. Ashley asks for a minute alone with her brother. Diane takes a little offense but heads off to work. Jack notices something is off with Ashley. Tell me what's wrong. Jack and Ashley sit in the dining room. She tells him after Martin attacked her in Paris and she headed off to the clinic. She knew she had her work cut out for her. Jack says she healed. Ashley says that they then realized Martin was still alive. She tears up over the way that he devastated Tracy, who needed to be reassured that she was worthy of love. After, she started wondering if she was the one who was stupid and naive and desperate. Maybe her healing wasn't real. Martin sent her to that clinic. Not Alan. He wanted her out of the way so he could dupe Tracy. Jack is there for her and wants to help. Ashley wants to take another leave of absence from Jabot. She needs to go back to the clinic. Ashley won't go back there. None of the administrators knew the difference between Martin and Alan. But she will work with her therapist elsewhere. Jack urges his sister to take all the time she needs. He'll look after Tracy. Both of them need to heal. Martin cannot have the last word. Ashley assures her brother that he won't. Jack admires Ash for getting the help she needs. He hates what she and Tracy have been put through. He and Diane are planning a trip and will stay in touch with his sisters. Ashley hugs him as he assures they'll stop in Paris. Martin needs to pay Jack, goes into work at Jabot, and tells Diane that Ashley has decided to go back to Paris and do some intensive work with her therapist. He wants to believe she's fine. Diane worries they should postpone their trip, but he won't hear of it. He'll keep tabs on his sisters. He grumbles about what this man did to them and Phyllis and Sharon. Diane assures him Martin will pay for what he's done. Jack asks, "Will it ever be enough?" Back at the Abbott house, Ashley cries as she talks to John. "Please, please, please, help me be as brave as Jack thinks I am." Daniel opts. Out Daniel meets Phyllis at Crimson Lights and tells his mother she seems a little manic. She tells him she's going to D.C. with Amanda because she works with Aristotle Dumas. She's meeting the man himself. Daniel asks when her appointment is and soon realizes Dumas doesn't know about this meeting. So, it's an ambush. He wonders what she'll even say. Phyllis is presenting him with an incredible opportunity that's good for everyone, including you. Daniel warns his mother not to do this for his sake, and warns Dumas might think she's a stalker. Phyllis thinks he puts up roadblocks, because anyone who gets to see him must prove they deserve to see him. She shares her idea is her and Daniel running Chancellor when he takes it away from Victor and Nikki. Daniel cracks up and then realizes she's not kidding. "You know what, Mom? I think you've finally gone off the deep end. Phyllis is creating a vision and plans to follow through." Daniel asks if Dumas would just hand over Chancellor to a stranger he's never met. Amanda thinks it's audacious and creative. She's on board. Daniel warns Amanda can be pragmatic. Phyllis warns he's hurting her feelings and making her mad at the same time. Nikki's not a better fit to run Chancellor than her. Daniel has nothing but respect for her abilities. He reminds her Summer is a part of the Newman family. Phyllis is just going to run the company. Daniel asks, and Victor's just going to shrug that off? He won't try to change her mind, but she'll have to count him out. He wants no part of it. Phyllis keeps trying to persuade him, but Daniel respectfully declines. She doesn't understand. "Is it me?" Daniel says nothing has changed since the last time she offered him a job. Phyllis thinks he's smiling more. Daniel's glad it seems that way, but he doesn't want the stress of a job in a big company. Phyllis is trying to find something they can do together. Was he lying about wanting that just so he could cut her loose? Daniel needed time to get his head straight. Phyllis is glad to have the truth. She wasn't ready to hear it before, but she hears it now. Phyllis tears up. She just thought maybe she could find something to distract him. He assures her he'll be okay. He'll get better. Maybe then they can talk about work. For now, she needs to focus on herself and not worry about him. She tells him he wouldn't be able to stop worrying if it were Lucy. He'd do whatever he could to make her feel better. "I will do whatever I can to fix this for you." Daniel says, "You can't." Phyllis acknowledges this and hugs him. "I love you so much." Daniel wants to talk a little more about Dumas and Chancellor. Phyllis shrugs. "I need a job." Daniel chuckles. "That's not a job. It's an empire, and she would be an empress. Is this about proving herself to everyone?" Phyllis says yes. "If Dumas took it over and gave it to her to run, it tells people in this town as a contender. They just see her mistakes and use her brain and talent and throw her out on her ass. They don't respect her, but they resent her. They never give her credit for anything because they're afraid she'd treat them the same way they treat her. If she ran Chancellor, everything would be different. I will talk to Dumas, and I will get Chancellor. You better believe I'll make it happen." Phyllis knows she exhausts Daniel and his sister. It's out of love. Daniel knows that. And he gets what she's looking for with Chancellor. Phyllis is there for him, when and if she needs him. He hugs her and tells her to be brilliant. And safe. He leaves, and Phyllis gets a text from Amanda. "Are you still coming?" Phyllis replies, "Dumas won't know what hit him." She then exhales, and as summer ramps up, so does the drama. In a shocking turn of events that could send tremors through the Abbott family tree and the corporate landscape of Chancellor Winters, two of the show's strongest women are making moves that will reverberate for months. Jack, meet the past, you didn't know existed Ashley Abbott, no stranger to pulling a rabbit out of her designer hat, returns from Paris with a steely resolve and an envelope that threatens to change everything for Big Brother Jack. In a scene simmering with barely contained emotion, Ashley reveals that their father John Abbott may have had a secret heir, a sibling who was raised far from the luxury of Abbott Manor. Jack, already reeling from the aftermath of his recent power struggle with Billy, is left shaken by the possibility that his family isn't as neatly contained as he believed. "I thought I knew every secret this family had," he says, his voice barely above a whisper. Ashley's motives? Not as clear. While she maintains she's simply doing what their father would have wanted, her timing, right before Jabat's next board meeting, feels all too convenient. Enter Phyllis Summers, corporate predator. Across town, Phyllis Summers is once again embracing her inner shark. Ever since her near imprisonment and the fallout of her faked death fiasco, Phyllis has been desperate to reassert her place in Genoa City. That place, it seems, is squarely at the head of Chancellor Winters. 3. Company is floundering, she tells Amanda Sinclair over martinis. Lily is distracted, Devin is paranoid, and Billy's ego is their biggest liability. Chancellor needs someone with vision. Amanda is skeptical, but intrigued. She knows Phyllis rarely backs down once she sets her sights on a goal, and if Phyllis is aiming for the Chancellor throne, things are bound to get messy. The redhead begins her campaign subtly, ingratiating herself with Jill and sowing just enough seeds of doubt among the key stakeholders to make her eventual bid for control feel like the logical next step. Collisions, confessions, and corporate warfare. What follows is a series of calculated collisions. Ashley's news sends Jack down a path of introspection and distraction, one that Phyllis is more than happy to exploit. Meanwhile, Diane becomes increasingly concerned that Ashley's reveal is only part of a larger plan to destabilize Jack's leadership at Jabot, and then there's Billy, whose tenuous loyalty is once again tested. As he finds himself drawn to Phyllis's ruthless charm and Ashley's vulnerable honesty, he begins to question his own role at Chancellor Winters and where his future truly lies. The storm is brewing, and by the time the dust settles, nothing. Not the Abbott family, not Chancellor Winters, and certainly not Jack or Phyllis, will be the same. Preview breakdown. What to watch. For Ashley's bombshell, who is the new Abbott heir, and are they already in Genoa City? Phyllis versus Lily. As Phyllis inches closer to Chancellor, will Lily realize the threat before it's too late? Jill's dilemma. Will she back Phyllis's vision or stand by her old guard? Billy's breaking point, with his loyalty torn, will Billy blow up both Jabo and Chancellor in the process? Stay tuned. The fireworks in Genoa City are just getting started.